Top 5 things I think about the ACC and realignment. Oops. Okay, sorry. Wrong one. There we go. Number 5. I think this. I'm perfectly willing to be proven wrong here in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to preface this by saying I don't think anything is even close to imminent. I think we're in the bravado, the noise phase right now, Smokey. I don't think that this is like the Pac-12. I think this is the first phase of a multi-phase plan by Florida State, and they're hoping other people to challenge the grant of rights and try to get a new media deal, which also now would be the best time to do this because there's one conference that's about to go away because there's no money for them.
Yeah.
So I understand pieces of this plan. It's just not all coming together for me yet. Yeah, I feel like I'm watching a movie or I'm trying to figure out, I think I know who the killer is, but I can't figure out why they would have done it. That's where I am with this right now. I get these parts of it, but I'm having trouble putting it all together because it's not like people are banging down the door to get these teams either right now. And they're not going to do so. The SEC and the Big Ten are not going to do so if there's complicated contractual entanglements.
So they're just kind of beating their chest. They're kind of let everyone know, hey, by the way, we think we're the most handsome or one of the nicest. It's saber rattling.
Yeah.
Imminent? Well,
that's a weird word.
Yeah.
But I mean, because it's hard.
Imminent means it could happen like overnight or in the next 2 or 3 days.
Imminent is what's going to happen with the Pac-12. There's imminent decisions to be made.
Yeah.
Yes. So whatever those decisions are in the Pac-12, that's imminent. That's going to be made very soon. With the ACC, I don't think so. I mean,
wait a minute. Did you just say very soon in the Pac-12 in the same sentence?
Well, I mean, they've got to make decisions about.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. But I do. I think it's.
We'll see.
Well, now look, the cards are on the table for the first time ever in that deal. Number 4. I don't think anyone really wants out of the ACC. I think Plan A, which failed for the Pac-12, is to increase the ACC's TV value. And I say this particularly for Florida State and Clemson, and then basketball-wise, if you're Duke and North Carolina, things have gone well for you in those regards, in that most of the time you're winning the conference. So you don't necessarily want to jump out of a conference that, if you're FSU and Clemson, you have more or less a 50% win rate on that. Is that in the last 30 years, most of the time, it's been one or the other of you. So say for a Virginia Tech here, a Pitt here, a Wake Forest here, a Maryland who's gone, really, it's been the two of you. So like Oklahoma, I mean, they made that big move, and their fans are going to have to get used to not being 1 and 2 in the conference every now and again. Now, look, if that's not as important in the 12-team playoff era, but it's still... They're going to miss it.
It's going to take some getting used to.
It's going to take some getting used to. So I don't think they really want out of it right now. And a lot of these threats are about, we can't keep going this way. But I don't think that if you ask them, would you want to leave, they would be like, oh, yeah. Because right now, they have a good situation as far as how the league works. Now, finance-wise, that's a different thing. But if you're talking about cards on the table, all things being equal, they don't want to leave.
No, they don't. They don't. And what they're just trying to do is start a coalition.
Yes. Number 3, FSU is going to be the lead disruptor, clearly on this. They are going to keep sticking their neck out. The Board of Trustees meeting is online. Everybody in the college football world can see it and make their opinions on it, and buzz can start. And there was really no reason for them to do this now other than the fact that realignment is in the water. So because it's in the water and everybody is talking about it, this is a good time to state that.
How long will this have a shelf life?
I don't know. To get it out there, because then, they can say things, but then it goes to the lawyers and it's going to sit in stasis for a while. So much like the Pac-12 TV deal, that there were times where, not worth talking about because there's nothing to report, and I guess it's going on. And then from about after Christmas to now is when it's gotten kind of weird, and that it took as long as it did. So that's where FSU is on this. Number 2, to tie in right to this, nothing will happen if FSU doesn't have partners.
Are you getting paid by Florida State University to put logos up on every damn one of these things?
Well, I mean, it's about them.
I know, but I mean, are you getting a little bit under the table?
I wish they could pay me back for my college. It'd be nice. But Nothing will happen if FSU doesn't have a partner. So
No, partners.
Yeah. So if they don't have the Magnificent Seven or the Hateful Eight or whatever they wanted to call them back a couple months ago, then it's really not going to matter because the other 13 schools in the ACC will say, well, sorry, we're all going to make sure that you don't just get to leave. Because they're going to want their $120 million exit fee.
How many
they're
they
want
need?
the grant of rights.
They need 8 schools to join them?
I would say
minimum?
8, yeah.
Including themselves?
So, yeah, I think they have to have, so 7 more, yeah.
All right. Is Notre Dame involved in any of these discussions
No,
or
it's
not?
not football.
Oh, that's right.
They're negotiating their own football thing.
All right.
So they might be able to say, like, oh, it's really going to suck for basketball. But, I mean, we're middle of the rung, when it comes to that. Number 1. This is going to happen before 2036.
You don't know that. You do not know that. You do not.
I don't. That's what I think. I didn't say that. This is not. What's the title? 5 things I think about the ACC and realignment. Not that I know.
The timeline's affected not by how Florida State thinks of themselves. The timeline, even the coalition, the timeline's affected by how soon do we get, which is like 2028 or 9, do we get to the next part of college football's mega realignment.
Which is why I think that's the more realistic timeline of 2025,
I
2026.
won't be here when they
push.
I won't be around.
They push and push. I think you'll be fine. They'll push and push and push. I mean, fine is relative. You'll be here. Fine, I don't know.
I'll be like in a nursing home with Depends or something like that.
We'll bring you soup every day, Smokey.
Okay.
Nice soup that you can gum down. But no, I think that this is going to happen before then because that's the stated goal. And hopefully for Florida State's case, this works out for them because there is a world where it doesn't. And I don't think that like the Board of Trustees meeting today was very like, we've got to do this and got to do this and got to do this. But one guy did say, we've been talking about this for a year and we've not done anything. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So let's start, especially the board, talking about what their legal options are. I do think if they get enough of them together, they can all make an argument for a renegotiation of the grant of rights in that they signed this. The governance of the NCAA has changed. So many factors have changed that if you had told me in 2012 that athletes were going to get paid, there's nothing that they could have done about it.
You lost your mind.
That the transfer portal was going to be wide open. I was going to be like, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's a cool idea, but, they've never lost before. Mm-hmm. And then you were going to, no, wait. They're not only going to lose, they're going to lose every time that they go out on the field, the NCAA. So.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Florida State.
No, yeah. So that's changed.
I just think they're being damn frisky because they're pretty good again. They've got themselves going the NIL. They got the Norvell. They got the coach. They wouldn't have done this if Taggart is still.
Oh, they have got arrows in the quiver that they can fire, and they're firing them while they think they can. They just better start hitting some targets.
Better hope that they're arrows that go one way and not boomerangs that come back the other. And by the way, I like Florida State, even though again, Paul's getting money under the table that we're not getting unequal revenue sharing here at the station. All right, good, very good. You're all frothed up over this. Now.
I'm mostly because I'm confused. Like I get it, but I don't. They need to tell me what the plan is. What's the plan, guys? Not just let's disrupt.
All right. Well, they'll call